Nabil was a very happy person. He was a very peaceful father. He would enjoy playing with his daughters, riding the bicycles, playing even with the dolls. I have several pictures when Nabil was playing with his daughters, the dolls. He would be the Ken for the Barbie. And he really wanted to spend time with the kids. He was coming from a very disturbing divorce, so anytime that the kids would be around, he would like to spend 100% of the time with them. The kids will help us to prepare things, and we will all cook together and then get in the pool, and mostly cooking and swimming with the kids. Nabil had 2 daughters and I have 3 children, and together we have a family. I was conducting a real estate seminar, and Nabil was very successful in helping clients with any mistakes that they would have in their credit. So I invited him to be one of the speakers at the seminar, and that's how I met him. He was a very kind man, very patient, very smart and bright in regards to his field. He always had a goal, and it was to help all the people that have problems in their credit reports. He was always trying to make sure that they were treated fairly. His dream was to write a book about it, and he said he got so much damage through his life, paying very high interest rates that he's not supposed to, and that everything he had learned through that field, he wanted to pass it on to the other ones because he didn't think it was fair. For mistakes they make, he ended up paying more money.
I met him about 8 years ago through a friend and started doing computer work for him. When he first started his company, back when it was just him in the office, and that was it, no employees. Got his computer set up and really managed all of his computers since then and built a friendship along all those years. You know, I have a lot of customers of my own who I go in, fix their computers. There's not, you know, a whole relationship there. With Nabil, it was more like a friend. You know, he would invite me over to dinner on weekends, you know, tell me to bring the kids over all the time, you know, come swim in the pool. So it was more like a friendship than an employer type relationship. And it really showed me his character and the fact that he was so caring. Always asked me how I was doing, always asked me how my kids were doing. It's really loving and caring.
We will spend almost 24 hours together. I work in the office. We will work from 9 till 6, and then we will go home and take care of the family. Our last trip, we went to San Francisco. Nabil was very happy because he was able to bring his daughters with us. I didn't know that was going to be my engagement. He just told me, you know, make sure that you pack the most beautiful clothes for the kids and for you. He says we are celebrating the happiness that we're together in our first trip as a family. Remember when we got to the hotel, Nabil was pretty busy on the computer and planning something, but we cannot figure out what was it until the night came, and he took us right by the San Francisco Bridge. He took a lot of pictures with me and the kids, and then he hugged me and he said he was very thankful for all the happiness I was bringing to his life. Then it was pretty cold, and the kids started wanting to go home, and he says, okay, we will come back tomorrow. And we left. The minute we arrived at the hotel, he told the kids, we will be back, we were going to go out. Now mommy and daddy are going to go out for a little sightseeing. We went back to the same place, and then he proposed. He asked me if I wanted to marry him, and he told me he was going to be with me for the rest of my life.
In other news this afternoon, sheriff's detectives are investigating the cold-blooded killing of a businessman in Stevenson Ranch. He had just stepped out from his company's Christmas party when he was shot.
911, what's your emergency?
Hi, somebody needs to come here really quick. Somebody was just hit over the head in front of the building and he's bleeding from his head.
Okay, what is the address?
26650, the Old Road.
Is this a house, apartment, or business?
It's a business. It's right in front of the Wells Fargo building, across street to the Old Road in Valencia.
But what was he hit with?
I have no idea. Somebody found him out there and they just came running in here, and one of the kids came in with blood all over his hand and said he's bleeding from his head.
Is this in front of your store there?
It's in front of the Wells Fargo building. He went out to have a cigarette.
On December 22nd, 2009, at about 6:45 in the evening, Nabil Tawab was shot and killed as he was leaving his business at 26650 the Old Road in Stevenson's Ranch. The victim, Nabil Tawab, he was the owner of a credit repair business. The credit expert is located on the bottom floor of the Wells Fargo building. He was giving a party for his employees at his place of business.
We're supposed to have a small Christmas party with employees. And we have a little, like a small kitchen inside the office.
I was invited to the Christmas party. Again, not being a formal employee of the company, but just his friend and working at the company. And I was running late and I texted him, I'm on my way, and he texted back saying, great, food's here.
The victim was having a meal with his fiancée at the time. When he finished his meal, he told his fiancée, Claudia, that he was gonna go outside and smoke a cigarette.
I arrived to the party that evening and walking into the kitchen, all the employees are there, everyone's eating, and asked, oh, where's Nabil? They said, oh, he must be either in his office or outside smoking. And decided to walk outside, because it was fairly common for him to be standing outside, having a cigarette, taking a break. Walk outside, look around, and don't really see him. Look over to the left and see where his car is. The light's on in the car. As I get closer, I see that the door's open, and I can see him lying on the floor. He was lying in a position almost like he was looking underneath that front driver's seat. So I walk up and, hey, how you doing? As I look over, he's not grabbing something, shaking him, Nabil, you okay? And then, as I see him, I can see his eyes just glazed over, knew something was wrong. Thought he had passed out.
He discovered Nabil's body slumped on the ground at the open driver's door of his white BMW. He ran back inside the business. The employees came out, they called 911.
Jason walked in and he says, something happened to Nabil, I guess he passed out. I ran outside and all the people from the party ran after me.
Somebody had turned him and saw the blood lift up his shirt, and I can actually see gunshots, holes. At that point, my heart just fell out.
Paramedics responded. They took him to the hospital there in Santa Clarita, where he was pronounced dead. We know he left his office to go outside. We know he was discovered at his open driver's door on the ground. His business, the credit expert, was on the bottom floor of the building. It was just off the main lobby by the elevators. It was only maybe 100 feet from where his car was parked, just outside the main entrance to the building. He walked out the main doors to the building. His car was parked just to the south of the main doors, directly in front of the Wells Fargo Bank, right around the corner from where the ATM machines are. His car was facing the bank. So what we believe happened was he went to go outside, he opened up his driver's door, and as he was reaching in to get his cigarettes, the assailant approached from behind him and then shot him. He was shot several times to the torso and once to the back of the head. We found several witnesses that heard several gunshots. They heard the sound of a motorcycle leaving the scene very rapidly. They looked towards the scene, the parking lot, and directly after the gunshots, they saw a motorcycle speeding away from the location. It didn't stop for the red light, and it left northbound the old road, at which point it was out of view to the witnesses.
Tonight, police are trying to find out who killed the boss outside a company Christmas party. 37-year-old Nabil Tawab, a husband and father of 3, died at a hospital after he was shot outside the bank building on the Old Road in Stevenson Ranch. He had left the party to get something from his car when a gunman opened fire.
It's just shocking to have something like that happen here. I mean, it's a safe community. Santa Clarita gets noted every year under the FBI statistics as like the 3rd safest city in the country to live in. So this is really strange.
Detectives do not have either a suspect or motive in this murder.
We did find another witness who heard a similar thing, He looked out the window, who happened to be inside the building. He heard the screeching tires, and he recalled seeing a car leaving the parking lot. So we have either a motorcycle or a car leaving directly after the sound of gunfire. We believe there might be at least one witness out there. We know that the old road is a busy thoroughfare in that area, and there has to be some type of witness that had to have seen something. They probably don't know what they saw, but if they were in the area December 22nd around 6:45 in the evening, and they saw a motorcycle leaving very fast from the Wells Fargo Bank parking lot, running a red light, we'd like to find that person.
Nabil and I, we were only engaged, so my life and my family and his kids' life changed completely. I didn't have any rights to his kids, so they had to go back to their mom. They missed the friend, they missed the father figure that he was for them. Nabil was buried on a Christmas day, and there is no more Christmas for our kids. They have that very sad and tragic memory that on Christmas Day he was getting buried. We really don't have any closure. We don't understand what happened. But it is very difficult that there is a person out there that is enjoying their life and their families, and we are not, because there is somebody out there capable to destroy and change somebody's life in 1 second. The kids keep asking, why did this happen? Why do we have to be punished? And I say, we don't understand. This is life, and it's very difficult to answer these questions.
We don't think robbery was a motive because he was wearing some expensive jewelry. His watch was inside the car. It was in plain view. And if it had been a robbery, I believe that a robber would have absolutely taken at least his wallet that was sitting there. I believe that the assailant approached the victim, shot him, and then immediately got onto either that motorcycle or the vehicle and fled the scene. We're asking for the public's help. Nabil Tawab was a 38-year-old man who had 2 children he loved very much. He had a fiancée that cared about him. She really wants to find out what happened in this case. He had a lot of close friends that are concerned, and they're always calling us and they want to know what's happening. This is a murder I'd like to solve.